We are now entering the fifth dimension of our sexual consciousness. The ride is rough. There is no jelly for this.
Wow. After seeing that, I'm really surprised that public broadcasting had to defend their history of government funding this week.
Paint wars on my cheeks. Anoint me with cocoa oil and cum so I speak in tongues. Twist it so tight they untangle my mind.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. It was a week where the leftist media went Signalgate crazy after Trump hoax-peddling reporter Jeffrey Goldberg somehow got included on a Signal chat about a strike against Houthi rebels. Now, I mean, the story is surprising. But of course, the media just had to embellish it with complete lies. After it was revealed that U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff did not take his personal phone to Russia and was not receiving Signal messages while there. Morning Joe, well, you know, they just had to read an inaccurate article that was citing press reports on air.
Let me read that really quickly.
Sure.
Witkoff was receiving these messages on the commercial app while in Moscow. This is security malpractice and adds to the building perception that Mr. Witkoff is out of his depth in dealing with world crises.
And somebody else is out of their depth when dealing with facts. But, you know, the media went into full Signalgate mode, wall-to-wall coverage, bringing in the best high-level experts to pontificate on the issue.
Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, he previously served on the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, thank you for being here. Just give me your blanket reaction to this news about this essentially group chat about military activity.
Oh man, the Democrat who was literally in bed with the Chinese spy, and he can't say if he had sex with her or not because that's classified. Swalwell, he's going to sound off on the importance of national security.
So it's actually remarkable to me that as we talk right now, Pete Hegseth has not resigned. He should absolutely resign.
Of course, Swalwell never resigned, even after it was clear he had some fang sunk into him. And of course, MSNBC ignored the fact that Swalwell himself had been the subject of an embarrassing national security scandal, because then their viewers would actually be informed and not simply leftist lemmings. Let's head over now to The View, where Beast Behar claimed, even though he wasn't on the chat, that Trump should be removed from office for it.
This guy has to go. I'm sorry.
One interesting thing.
I'm sorry. It's done.
One interesting thing.
Chuck Schumer and these Democrats. And by the way, I want to just say one thing to Republican Congress. You people need to look in the mirror.
You definitely need a mirror for viewing Behar, because legend has it a direct gaze will turn you into stone. Of course, Behar's statement follows her defense of Representative Jasmine Crockett calling wheelchair-bound Governor Greg Abbott Hot Wheels this week.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Not that she's right or wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, she's wrong. And when Crockett was wrong for advocating violence on Sunday.
And I think towards the end, he started to punch a little harder. But, like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right?
The ABC, NBC, CBS newscast joined CNN and MSNBC in completely ignoring Crockett advocating violence. I mean, I wonder why. Maybe they were just too busy reporting on those mostly peaceful protests at Tesla dealerships.
Protesters gathered over the weekend at nearly 90 Tesla showrooms, calling on people to sell their Teslas and dump their stock.
What's going on in Washington, D.C. right now is not right.
While mostly peaceful, some turning confrontational.
Even when Molotov cocktails are thrown and shots ring out, they bring out that fiery but mostly peaceful line.
You're seeing, Laura, what you're seeing behind me is one of multiple locations that have been burning in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Perhaps the left just does this because they're not logical or sensical. Like when illegal aliens are deported, so they call them American citizens, but they aren't American citizens, and it shouldn't matter if they're here legally or, well, perhaps it's best to let them explain.
Are you concerned by this development?
I'm concerned about how they are conducting their immigration deportation policies, seizing of American citizens without due process. While we know that many of these people may not be American citizens, they are immigrants, whether they are here illegally or through the process. We rely on our rule of law.
I actually felt my brain cells scream in agony while she was talking, but That may not be the dumbest thing to come from the media this week, as PBS enters the contest.
The biggest thing that we have to do is we have to educate a lot of people. The thought of trans is not anything that's new. It's been around for forever. It's just now being talked about. It's just now kind of coming out into public. And the biggest thing that we have to do is educate people, because it sounds very intuitive of a man and a woman. And then when you start to throw in the mix that there is at least 3 genders, because we know that there's intersex.
Darn all of us that think there's 2 genders, huh? You know, I'm probably expressing my male privilege here. You know, that privilege that women can clearly get when they dress up like men, but men that dress up like women aren't allowed to have.
And we're not men in wigs. We're completely different. And an example of that is you never hear any talk about trans men in sports, because the biggest thing that trans men gain is male privilege, and they're left alone. It's only trans women who have transitioned from male to female get the misogyny and talk to less than.
Yeah, leftist lunacy abounds in public broadcasting, where the tax-sucking operation went to Congress this week to claim that it is unbiased.
In the D.C. area, editorial positions at NPR, he said he found 87 registered Democrats, 0 Republicans. Is that accurate?
We do not track the numbers or the voter registration, but I find that
Was award-winning journalist who worked 25 years at NPR, Mr. Berliner, was he lying when he wrote that?
I am not presuming such. I just we don't track that information about our journalists.
87 to 0, and you're not biased?
I think that is concerning if those numbers are accurate.
I find it concerning that public broadcasting gets our tax dollars, but you know, PBS television has such a long history of putting out such great, unbiased, and useful information.
I don't think I have any Jesse Helms defenders here, Nina.
Not me. I think he ought to be worried about about what's going on in the good Lord's mind, because if there's retributive justice, he'll get AIDS from a transfusion, or one of his grandchildren will get it.
The man is on the court. You know, I hope his wife feeds him lots of eggs and butter, and he dies early like many black men do of heart disease.
This week, 82 years ago, Kristallnacht happened. And in that tower of burning books, it led to an attack on fact, knowledge, history, and truth. After 4 years of a modern-day assault on those same values by Donald Trump, the Biden-Harris team pledges a return to norms, including the truth.
It just goes to show how Republicans have decided that picking at white grievance and, you know, tap dancing with white supremacy is their way back into power.
In 2010, there was a Tea Party rally at the Capitol. Did you have a sense from listening to that rally and the people there that they were as much interested in being anti-black as they were anti-Obamacare?
We have seen, though, I should note, Republican rhetoric veer into outright racism, echoing some white supremacist notions as well.
I'm Eric Schneider, asking you to choose to support programming that you actually like. Go check out the MRC homepage, click on that donate button, visit MRCTV.org for all the latest in videos, news, and entertainment, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos. We'll be back soon with another look at leftist media madness.
We are now entering the 5th dimension of our sexual consciousness. The ride is rough. There is no jelly.